start the start of our third turn. I'm going to draw 4 cult cards. We have an item that I can possibly buy. A curse scroll. Ooh, that's a cursed item. We'll see how that works here in a minute. A possible follower, and the 4th card, oh, it's a gate, which means I need to draw a 5th card. The first thing we need to deal with is the cursed scroll. For this one I need to pay 2 experience or draw 3 more cult cards. I could pay the cost, but there's some things I'd like to buy this turn, so I'm not going to pay the cost. I'll suffer the consequences. So I'm going to discard this and draw 3 more cult cards. We have a minion, a Arwasa cultist, that's going to be a problem. And for the 5th card we have another minion. I'll now start putting the cards out to their appropriate cult boards, and as you can tell, the colors of course coordinate. So the green Cthulhu cards go onto the green Cthulhu board. So now I place the cards on the Arwasa cult board. The cultists get placed, and the lamp Fs get placed. This is bad because during the awaken step this horror is going to wake up, so I've got to be ready for that. And finally we have a minion going over here to Yogg-Sothoth. So now I have a couple choices here. Do I want to purchase this item, which is an otherworldly idol? Do I want to purchase a journalist? Both of these seem like really good purchases to me, so I'm going to go ahead and buy both of them. The idol costs me 1 experience, the journalist also costs me 1. So I spend 2 experience, I move the journalist next to my priest, and I'm going to put the otherworldly idol over here on the end also. Okay, let's talk about some of the special abilities now that I have a few cards in play. My soldier card, once per turn, I'm able to spend 1 experience if I choose to, and I get to discard any minion in play that has a value of 2 through 6. Now, because I'm discarding it and not slaying it, I don't get an experience point, though, for that minion. My priest, if I roll spirit dice and roll a 1, it allows me to re-roll those dice, whereas normally you can't roll dice that have a 1 on them. The journalist, what's neat about her is that every time I slay a horror, rather than getting just the experience for the horror, I get the experience points for the horror, and I'm able to draw and discard a cult card, which gets me to victory all the faster. The otherworldly idol is kind of handy but kind of bad for my followers. If I choose to slay a follower, that means that I get to discard any horror in play. I'm now done purchasing, so the next step is I awaken horrors. There are enough horrors here to wake up this guy, so he wakes up, and the next step is Sanity Loss. When he attacks me, I either need to throw off 3 experience tokens, or die, I don't want to do that, or sacrifice one of my followers. Well, it's a bad day to be a follower. I have to choose now between my priest and my journalist. I just got the journalist. Oh well, it's a bad first day at work. She goes insane. I've resolved his attack, and now it's time for my actions. For my attack, I'm going to attack over here on the Arwasa board. I have to attack the horror before I can attack the minions. So to do that, I'm going to get a body die, I'm going to get my 2 health dice, and I'm going to spend an experience token in order to buy a spirit die. To buy a spirit die, that's called a magic spell. I gain 1 spirit die for this roll. I'm limited to buying 3, and I use that as part of my roll. In order to slay this horror, I need a 3-die combo, so I have to roll like 3 5s or 3 1s, or get a straight of 3 numbers like 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to roll these now. Okay, now this is a pretty good roll, but you'll notice that I rolled a 1 on my spirit die. Normally you can't re-roll 1s or any die that results in a wound if you're fighting a horror, but I have the priest, which allows me to re-roll spirit die 1s, so I'm going to choose to do that. Okay, so I'm going to re-roll my 1, a 6, awesome. Okay, so here's how I have to allocate things. First I have to attack the horror. It takes 3 dice to do that. There's the 3, so the horror is now dead, and then the 6 I can allocate to any 1 card up here. A 6 isn't enough to take out the 7-point guy, but it is enough to kill the 4-point deep ones. So, both of these are claimed towards experience. For slaying these 2 cards, I get a total of 4 experience tokens. 1 for the deep ones and 3 for the major horror, because he's worth 3 dice, and so he also gives me 3 experience tokens. So, I now claim my 4 experience tokens. And finally for my turn, I'm going to use my soldier ability. So I spend 1 experience token. I can kill a minion of value 2 through 6 on any board. So I'm going to get the most for my money, and I'm going to kill this 6-point MyGo here. And so that attack discards the MyGo, and because it was a discard and not a slaying, I do not gain an experience token for doing that. That then ends turn 3.